Florida is home to many coastal communities along the Nature Coast, but none is more unique than the 2 square miles that make up Cedar Key. Boasting a population of over 700 residents, it still manages to keep its laid-back feel in an ever-changing world. Cedar Key, as we know it today, was established as a port city in the mid-1800s.
We were one of the primary ports on the Gulf, if not at one time the primary port on the Gulf. The problem with Cedar Key as a port is Cedar Key always has been and always will be a shallow water port.
The relaxed, laid-back atmosphere that Cedar Key offers has been a calling card for tourists for decades.
So the history started off, basically it was going to be a touristy area, but the area has always made its commerce through other things, through fishing at one time, the lumber. At one time we were called the pencil capital of the world, although we never produced a pencil here. But the state people came down here and told the local fishermen, we have an interesting idea. You're located between 2 rivers, much like the shell fishing is done on the northeast coast. And your salinity is absolutely perfect, temperatures are great. The only big difference is that they have a limited growing season and you don't. And it's because of this fact that we were able to hold the title of #1 producer of commercial clams in the world for several years. So Cedar Key, one of the fascinating things to me about Cedar Key is that it has gone through so many metamorphoses. You know, one thing will fail and it will start thriving in another area, which always just amazed me. It's so resilient. The uniqueness of this area, the camaraderie, the ecumenical work the churches do. When there's a crisis, everybody gathers together and helps everybody else. And I think it's because of that you'll walk down the street knee-deep in water one day and the next day the businesses are all open for business, you know?
Here in Cedar Key, there's just an old-fashioned sense around here where people, when they come here, it's kind of hard to describe a little bit, but it's like I said, it's stepping back in time, if you will.
It's an area where people feel safe to walk around at night. It's so physically beautiful that everybody falls in love with it, and they fall in love with the spirit of a small town.
Well, when you come into Cedar Key, it's just so beautiful here and so relaxing. It just lends its hand, to art, to being creative. I like meeting all the people, they buy our artwork. You meet people from all over the world, and you actually make friends from all over the world, and everybody comes together. It's a small community, everybody knows everybody. The community just works together.
It's a small town community that makes most Cedar Key residents call it their home.
We came down here, just rode up out to the Gulf on every road that goes off of 19, looking at the old forgotten coast, And when we got down here, we said, my God, somebody put a city out here and it's beautiful. So that was it. We found a business and moved.
You got hard work, people who commercial fish. You got people who work hard for tourism. There's a lot of people that work hard here that they like it this way and they want to keep it this way. That's a kind of sense of community where people will stick together, and a lot of things happening here, but what does happen here is good stuff.
I came from a small town in West Virginia, so I'm used to the easy life or laid-back life. But here, the people are great. I've never seen a community that stuck together better in time of a crisis than the little town of Cedar Key.
Clear prop. Cedar Key traffic, 28 Delta, like the back taxi 23 for departure. Any inbound, please advise.
There's only one way to see Cedar Key, and that's from the air. Cedar Key's small airport serves as a great hub from jumping from key to key, also giving tourists a great way to see the islands like they've never experienced them before. Soaring overhead, you can see the historic streets of Cedar Key that have been part of its rich history for more than a century. From up in the air, it's clear to see the scenic beauty that Cedar Key offers, as well as the numerous keys that dot the beautiful Florida West Coast.
Everybody seems to be very friendly. Lots of good food to eat. Really enjoyed it. And I liked the boat ride. I really enjoyed the boat ride and going out and listening about the islands and everything. It was nice history.
This is our first trip to Cedar Key, and it's kind of like very laid back, old South Florida, and it's just really an enjoyable area.
First impression was it was very laid back. It just gave you a nice, homely impression, somewhere where you want to come back.
Just, you know, if you've never been here, you got to go. Put it on your list.